What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel.
Alabama LSU game of the century, number 2 in this series as we go back to 2011, and LSU winning on defense 9-6 in overtime. And of course, Alabama won the more important rematch at the BCS championship game in New Orleans 21-0. And they did it with defense this year. Who has the better defense between Alabama and LSU? The Tide ranks 16th in the nation in total defense. LSU at number 23, if you look at the yards per game. But look at the schedule once again for LSU in taking on Sam Ehlinger in Texas. They did give up yardage and points, 38. Kyle Trask for 3 quarters had much success against the LSU defense in scoring 28 points. Auburn, not so much. I think LSU benefited from Bo Nix's inexperience, his lack of ability at this stage of his career as a freshman to be able to throw the ball effectively and efficiently downfield and accurately. Bo Nix is not that quarterback right now, and went just 15 of 35 in Death Valley, and the Tigers held the Auburn Tigers to 20 points in that one. Terrell Lewis leads the Alabama defense with 6 sacks. He's tied for the SEC lead right now. Patrick Surtain is rated by Pro Football Focus to be one of the top cornerbacks in the nation in regards to giving up just 17 completions on 34 targets. And he grades out to an 88% according to, again, Pro Football Focus. It's interesting to note that Surtain, though, is going to be facing, of course, the best wide receivers that he's faced this year. And he did have his struggles last season against the likes of Georgia, Clemson, and those 2 receiving units, in particular, also Oklahoma in the national semifinal game. Better defense, Alabama, LSU. Of course, the Tigers are going to be compromised by the like of Michael Divinity. We will get to that topic in just a second. The offensive line, according to Pro Football Focus and some other factors, does not grade out well for LSU right now. It's stout, but it's not explosive, does not make plays in the opponent's backfield, aside from, of course, K'Lavon Chaisson in the front 7, as he is one of the top pass rushers in college football. And, of course, the Tigers' secondary is elite as well. Jacob Phillips, also the leading tackler from the outside linebacker position for LSU, is one of the best in the business, but it's that LSU secondary that's going to be the marquee matchup. That's going to be the place to focus on the elite athletes, looking at Derek Stingley and Christian Fulton. And good news out of Ed Ogeron today in declaring that Grant Delpit, who had to leave the Auburn game, will be ready to go for Alabama. Grant Delpit, not just one of the best defensive backs in college football, but one of the better defensive players in college football. And Delpit will be ready in Tuscaloosa on Saturday. He brings in 43 tackles this season and has given up just 18 receptions and 41 targets. LSU, Alabama, without Michael Divinity, LSU has shown vulnerability with him. I believe Alabama's got the better defense. It's untested, the 2019 version to date. The best offense that Alabama has faced is Texas A&M. They chased around Kellen Mond. They contained that unit, and although A&M has not been hitting on all cylinders as many had expected, bringing back that receiving core that was expected to be one of the best in the nation, and Kellen Mond and his trajectory on the upside coming into 2019, Alabama still limited them to basically 2 or 3 scores when it really mattered. So Alabama, LSU, who's got the better defense? Well, LSU's defense is more tested versus the schedule. But in my estimation right now, go with the Crimson Tide and go with the Alabama defense over LSU.